And we're live! Hi, guys! So, my name is TRINH, and today we're here to discuss The Fiery Heart by Richelle Mead. And this book is the fourth book of the Bloodline series. Time's going by so fast that at this point I'm like, oh my god, I cannot believe it's the fourth book, even though it feels like it's like the middle of the series. Like the third book, because it has that third book feeling like Shadow Kiss, because you said how it ended reminds you of the third book of Vampire Academy. But anyway, today we're going to be discussing The Fiery Hearts, and I'm going to let my fellow co-hosts introduce themselves. So, introduction, your name and your channel name, and then your reread, if this is like your second time reading this book or third time, and then thoughts on this book, spoiler free. So, Sandy, you can start.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandy from the channel Sandy Reads a Lot. This is my first time rereading this book. I first read it in 2013, so it's been a really long time. And I remember when I first read it, this was like my favorite book in the series. And I still think, I don't know, it's definitely up there as like one of my favorite books in the series, just because I love Sydney and Adrian's relationship. And this is a book that really highlights, their love for each other. And I really enjoyed reading about that. And I also love seeing how far Adrian has come since, meeting him in Frostbite and seeing where he is now. I just really love seeing that. And I'm excited to talk more about it.
Hi guys, I'm Tiffany at Read by Tiffany on Instagram, YouTube, and everywhere else. This is probably my fifth time rereading this book. I have a problem, I know, but I think I have a greater appreciation for this book this time around, mainly because last time when we talked about Indigo Spell, I think we talked about how we miss seeing everyone else, like besides Adrian and Sydney. And I think seeing them again in this book made me love it so much more. So in a way, before it used to maybe be like lower tier in my ranking, it definitely bumped it higher to like maybe second or maybe third for me. So excited to talk more about it. But yeah, I loved Adrian and Sydney seeing them together and getting to see the whole gang again.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is TRINH. So you're on my channel Transformers. The first time I read this book was October of 2016. And this is my second time reading this book, so it's been 5 years, which is really wild. I kind of remember reading this book because I was like a freshman in college and I remember binging the series. So like that was interesting. And what's funny was that going through this book, there were like certain annotations and comments being like, I love Sidrian so much, all that stuff. And looking back, I'm just like, wow, times have not changed. So yes, it's my second time reading this book. My thoughts on this book, it's really hard to grasp on what I really feel about this book just because I finished this book 20 minutes ago. Oh my god. So like I was literally rushing to finish this book. But I don't think it's my favorite. And I really want it to be my favorite. That's like the unfortunate part is like I really want it to be like my favorite book of the series. However, as of right now, I still think The Golden Lily is my favorite, which is interesting. But with this, I remember the ending. Before rereading, I remember the ending. So as I was reading it, I was just dreading getting to the last few chapters because I just know what's gonna happen. So like I was just like trying not to like feel too much because I don't want to be hurt by the end, but still I got hurt by the end. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that I really enjoyed by this book. I really love Sydney and Adrian, obviously, because their relationship is really wholesome and cute. And I also like the other characters as well. There are some characters that are frustrating. We're gonna talk about them, but I think right now, I think my rating is like 3.5 maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I haven't finalized anything yet because again I just finished this 20 minutes ago. But that's how I feel about this book. It's like it's not my favorite, but it's not like the worst book I've ever read in this series. I still really enjoy it, but it's just knowing the ending and knowing what's gonna happen kind of make me like feel a certain way with this book. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Okay, hi everyone in the chat. Okay, is that it for like the spoiler-free thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna jump into this book. We're gonna talk about everything that happened in this book, the spoilery stuff. We're gonna talk about the beginning and the ending, in the middle, and everything else. Anyway, yeah, we can talk about the end. I have thoughts, but anyway. So if you have not read this book, please leave right now because we're going to go in depth with this book. If you have read this book, then of course stay so we can discuss things that happen in this book, okay? And of course, feel free to leave your like thoughts and opinions in the chat, in the live chat. There we go, because obviously we read them. So yeah, if you have not read this book, please leave. Goodbye. Thank you. Okay.
Where do we start?
My notes for this is so long. It filled up the entire thing. Oh my god. I guess we can start with, because I was thinking about this, the dual point of view. Because like, for the first 3 books of the series, we only read from Sydney. But now, starting with The Fiery Heart, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing with the next 2 books. We're going to be reading from Adrian and also from Sydney. And I was going to ask, like, what did you guys think about that? Like, Richelle Mead's decision to, include Adrian's point of view in this, and like why she did this. Because like, if you guys read Allegiant by Veronica Roth, I think there's this thing where it's like, of course, things are, like, of course, the author would include another point of view in like the middle of a series or like towards the end of a series. It's because there's a good chance the 2 main characters will be separated, and you have to read from 2 different. Because like, look what happened. Look what happened at the ending. So I want to ask, like, did you enjoy reading from Adrian's perspective, or I don't know, or like you only prefer Sydney? I don't know. I would love to know what you guys think when it comes to the dual POV.
I liked the dual point of views. I think like it was interesting to read from Adrian's perspective and just be able to like experience the world from his point of view, especially like getting a better understanding of how he's dealing with spirit, because that's something that we never really had an understanding of from him, and being able to read that from his point of view was really interesting. Because also like people deal with spirit differently and it affects people differently, and being able to see that was nice.
Yeah, no, I definitely echo that. Also, it's been a while since I've read Allegiant, but like I did not remember that being a dual POV. Like I just remember hating the book. But I agree with Sandy like 100%. I think it really humanizes more, and you're able to empathize with how much like spirit is taking a toll on Adrian's mental health just by reading it in his perspective, because I think it's different when we're reading it from like Rose's perspective or Sydney's perspective, just seeing like him going like a little off the rails because he's like, spirit's taking a toll on me. I need to like drink alcohol to help like get it to calm down. But it's like different to actually physically see him seeing Tatiana or like seeing these like things messing with his mind, and then also understanding why he's like turning to alcohol or turning to like these like big mood swings. And I think it also just like eventually when we help rationalize the whole, he ends up taking the mood stabilizers part. I think like one thing I've always really liked about the series was how Richelle Mead like humanizes these topics and like makes it okay to like, what's the word, destigmatize like taking pills or like having mental health like issues or things like that. So yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was like, I think because we started, the first chapter is from Adrian's perspective, and I was like, whoa, this is a little different. And I really appreciate the fact that you can tell which chapter that you're reading from. Because I remember reading Elation. I have a feeling we're going to refer to that book because that's like the book where people discuss the dual point of view. Because with that book, 2 main characters got separated in a way. And also, I remember reading that book and I remember being like, wait, am I reading from Tris or like from Four perspective? Because like the writing is exactly the same, the voice and everything. So it was just really, it was hard to differentiate which character you're reading from with that book. With this one, I was like really hoping it won't be the case, but I like the fact that you can definitely tell when you're reading from Adrian's perspective and then also from Sydney's perspective. And I was glad because it's nice to like know where like you are in the story and just where you're reading from. So like I actually like reading from Adrian's perspective. There's like a lot of things I didn't know. Like when he was talking about how Tatiana is like talking in his head, I was like, oh god, no. Like, oh, it's worse than you thought, And then it's just like, and then like there are some scenes where like obviously I'm glad that we got, because if we were to read from Sydney's perspective, we would never ever know what's happening with like Nina and Olive and him going to Texas, and just like how bad spirit can be when he uses too much, like how his mental health drastically deteriorate once he used too much spirit. So like and then also like the scene of him getting the mood stabilizer. It's just like basic things like that. But I'm really glad that we get to see those scenes, because like I mean like Sydney didn't even know about him taking the pills until like he told everyone. So like yeah, I actually really like the dual point of view, and it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in the next two books, because there's that thing where, of course, now that we have the dual point of view, the two main characters are separated. Anyway.
I will say, like, I think their voices are very distinct, but sometimes because they're so lovey-dovey, when they are in those lovey-dovey moments, I forgot who I was reading from.
Yeah. I think that happened to me one or two times, but it was like so rare that like I didn't like have a complaint about it. Let me see. I didn't think about that dual point of view would lead to them getting apart. Yeah. I had a feeling, honestly, and then I don't know why, but it kind of if anyone read, this is like a callback to certain YA books, the Lux series. Why is there
Yes,
Yes.
I love the Lux series.
you know, like the first two books, it was just from Kat's perspective. The fact that I remember their names, but then with the third book, we have no. Wait, I just remembered.
Katie and Damon, right?
Yeah, Damon. Yeah. So like the first three books, we read from the girl's perspective, but then with the fourth book, we read from Damon and then also Kat as well, because towards the end of the third book they got separated. So that's
Wait, okay. I honestly don't even remember the like. Okay, sidetrack to like the Lux series. I don't remember anything that happens like after the first book. I just remember they're like sparkly aliens, like bright light aliens, and I remember liking this series. I just legit do not remember anything that happens, and I feel like part of it, like the Lux series and the Bloodline series, will have some similarities.
Yeah,
with like the whole like government, like secret, you know, like kind of like the Alchemist, but not.
Yeah, like real quick, at the end of the third book, I can't remember this, but like the two main characters got separated because of the government. So there's that, and then with the fourth book, Damon came into like the book. Like we read from Kat, but then also from Damon, because again, two main characters are being separated. So there's that whole thing. Like of course, there's gonna be a dual point of view being inserted in the middle of a series. It is because there's a high chance two main characters will be separated. That's what happened in this book. I don't want to talk about yet.
Interesting.
Yeah, you see, I love the dual point of view. It's very well written. Their voices are well articulated, and even the names were on them. Yeah, I like that too. And I also like that because it's like every other chapter, which just makes sense. Because I feel like there are some books where it's not like in certain order. It's kind of sporadic. I don't know. Let me see. Can we do the Lux series? I don't know. I'm not ready to go.
I don't love the Lux series as much as I love this series, but I remember like being a little bit trash for it.
It's very entertaining.
It was fun. Yeah. It was an interesting time because I remember it being popular for like a little bit. I think it was around the time when the fifth book was coming out and people were like reading the series because like it went by fast, all that stuff. But I think that series is about aliens, which is interesting. I don't know. I was thinking, no, as I was reading this book, I was like, what does this remind me of the Lux series? And I still have
I will say, okay, now that like you've brought this back into my brain, like I think there's some scenes in Silver Shadows and Ruby Circle that are very similar that I think part of me mixed up with Lux series.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually very interesting because I would love to know which book came out first, you know? Like, did Silver Shadows come out first and then the Lux series, or like vice versa? We don't have time for that.
Yeah, we don't have time for this. Let's talk about the people we actually care about.
Yeah. Okay, so we talk about a dual point of view. I guess we can talk about Adrian now, because like we talk about Sydney a lot. We can talk about her later. But with Adrian, so like I don't know about you, but there's that one scene where, so I think he was like Adrian was just losing it, and then Sydney brought him back, and
when he sold the cufflinks.
Yeah, and then he was trying to get it back, and then like she had to pay for it. And there's this page, she broke down crying, like she was literally crying because she was so scared for him. And that one chapter where she talks about how like if something were to happen to him, her heart would be broken. And I was like, bitch, I don't have this is too sad for me. This is too sad. Like I was crying because I was like, I didn't ask to be in this pain. but I guess we're going there. So I want to ask, like, did you guys cry or like got emotional? Or is it just me?
You
I
can go
mean, yeah,
first,
I
Tiffany.
definitely did. Like, I was like, oh, this hurts so much to see like someone obviously you love so much, like hurting and not being able to care for themselves. And yeah, I don't know. It was definitely like a sad moment, especially just like him, like knowing how much Tatiana's cufflinks mean to him.
Yeah. What about you, Sadie?
Yeah, it was definitely emotional, and also like just the fact that Adrian has withheld, taking medication for so long. It's because like, in the case that someone he loves is like injured and he needs to heal them, but he can't if he's on medication. I don't know, just like seeing that also like come into play towards the end when he was on the medication and he wasn't able to like access spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that scene was definitely emotional.
Yeah. And honestly, it got me thinking, like, I think the one thing that I really appreciate about this book is showcasing what it's like to be in a relationship with someone who has depression or like who has mental illness. Because like Adrian, because of spirit, like he has depression when like, he's super, super sad. Like this is what happening. He drinks so much and he's like making a scene in public and all that stuff. But then not just that, we learned that he also has bipolar disorder. So like that scene, I was just like I was like touched, but I was also so sad. But it also made me think that this is one of the rare times where I've seen this kind of scene in a book where it's not all about like the love and romance. Like, yeah, like they're really cute together and they love each other, but like you can tell that Sydney does care so much about him because this stressed her out so much to the point where she was like breaking down. So like I really appreciate that because it brings like a realness to their relationship because like it's not temporary. Like this is the real thing where she's literally crying over him because of what spirit can do or like might do to him in the future.
I also really like that. I feel like a lot of the early YA books like don't really discuss mental illness. It's more of like their love can conquer anything, including like very early on. I feel like some YA books like they love can conquer anything, even like mental health issues. But like in this one, Sydney like explicitly tells Adrian like she thinks this would be good for him. Like he should seek help, like not using herself as like a crutch, even though she's like there for him, but she's not the answer to solving like mental health issues. Like these are things you need a professional to help with.
Yeah, I like that too. Bruna said, I love that scene because of the emotions, but also her being his sugar mama. Like, some people in the week love to see girl boss money. I noticed that too. Like, she always has some money. I think the scene where they were staying at that inn, that bed and breakfast, and like she just gave the lady her credit card, and I was like, how much money you make with that alchemist money though?
I mean, the alchemist got deep pockets.
Yeah, like is this your money or like money from the alchemist that you need for the mission? I don't know. I would love to know I would love to know, Sydney. But
also speaking about like the mental health, I feel like I'm jumping around, but I also really like that one scene where when they're in the court and they're like making the tattoo, and Sonia and Lisa and Olive, I think, are like using spirit, and then afterwards they're like, Adrian, why weren't you helping? And he was like, oh, it's because I'm on medication. And I was just like, that big reveal, and then him explaining like, oh, it's his choice. Like, what else would he have done? Like, turn to like cutting or depression or like turning to strigoi. Like I really like that he was firm in his decision.
Yeah. And I have a feeling because like he has seen the other people who have spirit, what they went through and like what they did to like deal with spirit. I think he probably took that into consideration and just like decide on, making his own decision, which is like taking mood stabilizer. And I think he took that like around page 200 or something like that. So like the last half, you see him on pills. Yeah, like that scene where like Sydney was like, okay, we can talk about the dabbling part because I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
He's so bad. Like he lied to her, and then turns out he kind of did it. I was like, oh my god. So, what you guys think about that one? That whole ordeal.
I completely forgot about it, and I'm just like, Adrian, I love you, but like this thing that you did, obviously it's wrong, and like obviously he's aware that it's wrong, and I like that conversation that he had with Sydney about like, this, it happened in the past, I'm no longer like this.
Yeah.
And, you know, like when those guys were trying to like
That
do
was
stuff to
scary.
Sydney and he
That
like
was scary.
stepped in,
Yeah.
like that was, you know, good to see. But yeah, that hearing that history of his definitely made me not like him as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like there are a lot of moments where we're reminded about like who Adrian used to be, like kind of a player, would sleep around a lot. Like
Mhm.
it's very different from Sydney, but somehow they make it work, which is really nice.
Yeah. And I was also thinking like again like this book has like scenes where like they're being romantic, but then also they gotta like how do I say this? Like deal with like the ugly side when it comes to being in a romantic relationship with someone who has a past history like Adrian. Like cuz he did, correct me if I'm wrong. He was like he said sort of. And she was like, "What do you mean sort of?" I was like, "Oh shit, she's pissed." And he would so like he was drunk. The human girl was drunk, and he kind of tasted her blood a little bit, but not a lot. I don't even know, but at the same time, he did admit to it. But he was trying to use technicality to try to be like,
Mhm.
no, like please don't hate me. I don't know. It was like a little bit above. I was just like, okay. But at the same time, like if Adrian don't do this ever again, and just move on and be a better person, and also if I mean like he did defend her when those guys attack her, so that's a good thing. However, Cindy did make a good point because she did point out like also in the past did you basically like look away when those guys did those things to other girls. I was like, oh, she's making good points. It's just like it's so messy. So like that's like one another thing that I like about the book is that like is one like you just gotta confront that past history. Let me see. Ruda said, this book was real though. Like all the characters felt very real with their with very why can I read? With very serious emotions and thoughts, yeah. Let me see. I love how everything was discussed so well in this book. I just have yeah. That's one thing I like. I really like a couple that can communicate.
They're so healthy.
They're so cute. There is one scene where Sydney did not communicate with him, and that's the struggle.
The Strigoi one, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We haven't seen Strigoi in so long.
That's so true. We haven't seen one since like
The first book, Bloodlines.
the first book. Yeah.
Wow,
We can talk about that. We can talk about like their marvelous discovery of how to like make a Strigoi vaccine.
Yeah, because what's going on right now, and yeah, I honestly, that's the one thing that I forgot. Neil being like, I want let's test this theory out, and I'm just like, wow, these people are so brave yet so stupid. Okay.
Doesn't it give you kind of a little deja vu of when this is probably why Eddie was so hesitant, but like deja vu to Frostbite.
Yeah.
Like I saw Eddie like being hesitant, and I don't blame him because he literally lost Mason. When I say it like that, but yeah, I forgot about that, and then like when it happened, and Jill saved the day, and Angelina and Trey like also saved the day.
It was so great though to see like Jill and Eddie finally kiss and get together, and then Angeline and Trey also like just be together instead of both of them pretending that they have feelings for Neil.
Yeah, I just love how like Jill just told Eddie to shut up and then she kissed him. I thought it was really cute. Like all this like, build up of their potential relationship, and now it's like finally happening.
Like I would love a side novella of just Jill and Eddie.
Honestly, I kind of want to talk about this because like because in this book, I think Sydney and also Adrian, they were the one that's like Joe just like admitted that like you like Eddie because like she was pretending to be like to like Neil, and the whole time a part of me is like I keep forgetting she's so young because she's literally 15 and Eddie is 18 or like maybe almost 19 because he's like literally the same age as Sydney, and she turned 19 in this book. So a part of me is like, why don't anyone urge her to just stay single? Like that's also another option. She doesn't have to go for like one guy or the other. Just stay single and just focus on her and like in school. I don't know because I think the reason let me just explain my thoughts. I'm kind of 50-50. The reason why I'm so adamant on couples who have a huge age gap getting together is because a lot of times it will lead to emotional manipulation and emotional abuse. We see, like, I see it in so many cases in books, but also in real life, because like this should exist. There's a power imbalance between like someone who's super older than like the younger person. And then I think what makes it a little bit worse is that she's literally 15. She's literally a minor. This is not about someone who's like 18 and then like 25, even though that's like Rose and Dimitri. I don't know. But with this, it's like she's 15, 18, 3 years. At the same time, she's a minor. You know, like imagine being 18. Do you see yourself fooling around with a sophomore in high school? Think about it for 1 second. But at the same, and then like I have to be like, well, Eddie won't do that. Hopefully, like I believe Eddie's a good guy, so like he would not use his age against Jill like that. So like, that's like the one thing that holds me back. But at the same time, a part of me said, just stay single. Just stay single. It's okay. I don't know. So that's why I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like I don't want to be like I ship Jill and Eddie because I like them, but at the same time, I'm like.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. And like sometimes I also forget how young Jill is just because of like everything that like all of her experience and what she's seen. Like she definitely also like portrays herself as much older and mature, but I totally agree with what you said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about we have so much time. Let's briefly talk about like the witch stuff. And we could talk about shit, what else?
There's so much
Zoe. I feel like we talked about how like the third book had a lot of plot lines going on. I thought this book had a lot of plot lines going on.
Yeah. Because I was like writing down like the topics that we can talk about, and it's literally filling the entire page. And I don't remember if the Indigo spell is like that. So we want to talk about Zoe or like the witch stuff?
We can talk about the witch stuff because I thought it was so funny how like Malachi Wolf comes back and how him and Jackie get together.
Yeah. I forgot about that too. I think what's funny was that Brayden was there because they were doing it in a coffee shop. And so Brayden were like, are you kidding me? Are you seeing this? And like Wolf, I think Malachi Wolf, and then also like Jackie. Yeah. I love Jackie. This is the book where
I love her.
I really appreciate her for who she is. Because she loves, like, she cares about Sydney and all that stuff, and she's so chill.
She's like the mother figure. I really like. I think in the was it this book where she gets like sworn into the coven?
Yeah,
and then she hugs her like a mom, and I was like, oh, this is so sweet. Like we don't really see parental figures, but like Jackie is the parental figure.
Yeah, I love the fact that like she's aware that all these like kids are like, oh, because a lot of them are like adults, you know, but like she's there to like help them or guide them in a, you know, in whatever problems or situation that they have. Like at the end, like you can tell that she cares so much about Sydney, and she's upset that she cannot track down Sydney at all. And like I like the fact that she knows about their relationship, but she doesn't give them hell. She doesn't say shit like your soul is corrupted. I was like, oh my god.
And she like lets them like go to her house or her office or whatever just to like, you know, like do research or whatever.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I want Eddie. Eddie was barely in this book.
Yeah, but honestly, any Eddie seems to make me happy.
Yeah, I know.
Even from like the Eddie was like not even in the third book, so like to see him was like great.
Yeah, that's something I noticed for the past few books. I feel like Eddie is not really in it, and I wish that he is because he is such a good character. Let me see. Wish Jackie was my witch teacher. Oh, she's honestly really great. I really appreciate Jackie.
What do you guys think of that? Like the old witch lady, like Inez.
Yeah, Inez. I forgot about her because we had one.
There's so much going on.
Yeah. I mean, she's okay. I don't know how I feel about her because we only have like one scene with her, but she does know about Monroy, and then I think the reason why we saw her is because like she killed a Strigoi one time, something like that.
Yeah, she's killed Strigoi, and then I think she was like helping Sydney figure out like the magic tattoo stuff.
Yeah,
I wonder if she's gonna like come back later in the series. I don't remember.
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, like, it would be nice if she comes back because I have a feeling Richelle Mead, she's not I hope so. She's not the kind of author who just like inserts one character and then we just never see them again. I have a feeling we're gonna like bring her back. Let me see. You want to talk about Zoe?
Oh, so annoying. So annoying. It's like, how are her and Jill the same age, but Zoe's just so much more annoying?
I was really trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Like I don't hate her, but fuck, I do find her very frustrating. Okay, let's like, this is me trying to be on her side. I feel horrible every time Sydney cancel on Zoe. I do.
Yeah.
That was because like I think if I were in her position and I have an older sibling who I want to hang out with and just spend some time, like have dinner, canceling on me all the damn time, I'll be a bit salty. Like when she was like crying because Sydney canceled the birthday thing. Like she canceled on Zoe on her birthday to spend time with Adrian, and then I think the next day she had to cancel again because of the Strickler thing. I feel horrible for Zoe because that is very frustrating. You know, like trying to spend time with a sibling on their birthday, but they cancel on you twice in 2 days in a row. Yeah, I'd be a little bit pissed. However, I'm salty that at the end she didn't confront. She could have confronted Sydney about the phone. Instead, she went to her dad. I don't under. Oh my god. Anyway, someone go because I would start screaming.
Yeah, you already said all my thoughts essentially.
And just like how much she wants like her. Oh my god, that dinner with her dad where she's like, Sydney's really close to like the to the vampires, like more than normal. It's like, girl, shut up.
Yeah.
Way to rat on your sister like that. I don't know. I mean, there's a fight. She did admit that she was salty because like the dad didn't pay her any attention. And we can talk about that. Like deep down, she's doing this alchemist thing because she wants to impress her dad. That's so sad to me because I'm so sure that a lot of people went through this where like they have like one parent who don't view them as their own kid, but view them as like an asset. And then you try to do whatever it takes to impress them, literally doing whatever it takes to get their attention and their love. But the parent is not reciprocating that. It's literally like this. So it's so sad to see her going through this. But at the same time, it brings out the worst in her because like she's, I mean, her being suspicious is not a bad thing in general. It's just a bad thing for us. For Sydney and Adrian, and then at the end she's sorting out. That was upsetting. Let me see. Zoe gets on my yeah, but like I don't want to hate a teenage girl.
I know. It's like it's like we all know we were annoying when we were 15. So it's like, who are we to judge?
Yeah.
But every time she makes progress, like she like, oh yeah, I get so excited, like the way Sydney gets excited when she's like, oh yeah, like Eddie. And then like Angeline's so funny. She's never had ice cream before. And
yeah. Let me see. So in the first book, Sydney loved Zoe and wanted to protect her, which was very cute. But she was so annoying in this book. Yeah, I know. I know. And the thing is, I knew she was gonna come back. See, I remember the ending. I remember her selling Sydney out and just giving the phone to her dad and stuff. And she sold Sydney out. It was so. I was upset. Actually, I want to ask if anyone has read this book for the very first time for this readathon. Were you shocked that Sydney got caught at the end, and also like the reason why she got caught is because of Zoe, her younger sister, finding the phone in the car and all that stuff? Because in a way, like yes, I'm mad at Zoe for like going to her dad, but I'm also like Sydney, you were so careless for a few days, you know, like the sex in the car and the phone thing, and also spending the night with him. I was like, girl, this is getting a little bit careless. I mean, I'm glad you're getting dick, but what is it? I'm sorry. At the same time, be careful. Anyway, let's move on. I mean, I'm glad. But anyway, it was interesting to read this conflict for the first time as an adult because I totally understand what Zoe was going through. Me too. I also have daddy issues. I think the reason why I'm trying to be like sympathetic towards Zoe, because again, I do know people who went through this, you know, like trying to do things to like impress their parents. But I'm the complete opposite with my dad. I'm not like that. I just do things for myself and for the people I care about. Like I focus on like me and like the things that I'm doing and that stuff. So that's why that's why I really wish Sydney would confront Zoe about this, because like she's aware that Zoe is doing this for her dad. So I just wish Sydney being like, just tell her like it is, because I think Zoe is aware of it, but she doesn't realize how bad it is and that is an actual problem. So I really wish we have someone just telling her like it is, being like, "Hey, why are you doing this for your dad, even though he doesn't give a shit about you, unless it's unless it deals with alchemist stuff, you know?"
I think she's tried to. It's just like she tries to like remind her about how great her mom is and everything.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but it's like, how can Sydney's mom, who's so cool, end up with a guy like her dad? Like, how does this happen? But I'm also so like morbidly intrigued that I would like, I wish we had BA novellas in this universe. I just want that so badly.
Yeah, because I think in this book, Sydney like briefly mentioned how like when they first got married, he was chill, he was nothing like this. But then over the years, he I guess became really dedicated to the alchemist, and like his attitude just changed like a complete 180. And also he's a very insecure guy, because he was trying to like make the mom look like a bad guy, like she's probably cheating on him, and like his proof is
Oh
that
yeah, like her yoga teacher.
yeah. And I was like, that's all you have? And he's like, that's enough. I mean, she wanted a divorce. I was like, maybe because you don't make her happy. Maybe because you're shit with your children. There are plenty of reasons why she wants a divorce, and not just because she's cheating on you. You know, it's so weird. He really thinks he's not the problem. If you think about it, with the marriage, with like him raising the children, he thinks he's doing everything right. Man, I hate men like this. God damn.
I think Sydney's dad needs to meet Adrian's dad.
Oh,
like who?
Wow, they both have shit dad. I just realized.
Yeah.
That. Maybe that's why they're perfect for each other. Their parents are very similar.
They both have daddy issues.
Yeah, so do I. I was shocked. I didn't expect Zoe to rat her out like that. I hope Zoe will get some good times in the next book. I don't remember what we're going. I don't remember like how she feels about, or like seeing her in the next few books. I don't even know, because now I'm just mad at her. I was like, you can do whatever. I mean, you can apologize and shit, but I don't know. I think Sydney's pretty mad at you. But anyway,
I mean, Sydney's in re-education now.
I know, that was so upsetting. Sydney is always concerned about communicating well with Adrian. I would just wish she did the same. Yeah, she tiptoes around Zoe a lot. I definitely noticed that, because again, I want her to be like, yo, stop doing this. Like, if you do it just to impress impress our dad, that's not the right reason at all, and all that stuff. And like
she's always like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, she's always like, I need to patch things up with Zoe. I was like, can you do it?
Well, why don't you?
Like, come on, just do it. I don't know, but
yeah,
that's like the one sucky part, I guess. Should we? We can talk about the divorce a little bit. It's wild how Zoe and their dad assume that Sydney will be on their side.
I mean, it's kind of like when you have that much like hubris, you're just like, it's implied. Like, I'm pretty sure he like Sydney's dad would never think otherwise.
I hate this man so much. Oh my god, because it honestly, and oh my god, I really hope we will see Carly in the next book or two. I don't know. We still have not seen the older sister, and from what I hear, she's not horrible. You know, because she's gonna testify for the mom. And then towards the end, I think eventually Zoe was like, "Are you testing fun? Like, whose side are you on?" And Sydney's like, "Mom," because like
I loved her when she said that. Though. I was like, yes,
that's the rest I'd be on. Yeah. Oh my god, it was just frustrating. So, like, what did you guys think about the whole divorce thing?
I mean, like,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
You go, Sandy.
I mean, I forgot that they were. I mean, I forgot that they were going to get a divorce, but like, it makes sense that this is happening. And I knew that the divorce is going to like put some tensions between Zoe and Sydney, just because like obviously Sydney wants, you know, Zoe to be with the mom, whereas Zoe really wants to, you know, stay with the dad. So I just knew that the divorce was just going to create some tensions between them.
Yeah. I just didn't realize how bad it can be, you know? I think, I don't know. It's so weird how it has to be one or the other. when there's joint
Yeah.
custody, that's
Yeah.
also an option. But I think who's the one who doesn't want? I think it's the dad. The dad doesn't want joint custody.
Yeah, but also I think Sydney was basically saying like she could try for joint custody, but like joint custody is basically just letting the dad win.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because he still has control over her in a way, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing about joint custody, probably don't do shit. And now that Sydney, oh my god, what's gonna happen with the whole court thing? Because like Sydney cannot be there to testify and shit. She's in re-education. Oh my god, I'm worried now. I don't want to think about this because then, like, if I'm very invested in this, I'll like be very sad on behalf of Zoe because like I want the best for her, but she doesn't know what's the best for her because she's so blinded and brainwashed by her dad. I really hate her dad. Goddamn, when he smacks Sydney at the end.
Oh yeah. What did you guys think of like the magic and the world building? I would say like because we have stuff from the Strigoi side where we figure out like the Strigoi vaccine, but then we also have stuff where like Sydney can make the indigo tattoo like to prevent you from being like tattooed over with like compulsion for the alchemist stuff. So what did you guys think about that?
I liked reading about the Strigoi vaccine part and seeing how, you know, everyone from like Core and Neil were involved in kind of developing that. I was a little bit confused about like the tattoo procedure, especially when Trey got involved and he doesn't have like an alchemist tattoo. So that part confused me a little bit.
Wait, I can explain it.
Okay.
So you know how like when she was at court, she asked for like double of everything.
Yeah.
So she had Abe make like, because Abe's an Earth user and Earth is like more compulsion-y, like make a compulsion tattoo. And I think she used that like Earth compulsion tattoo on Trey, saying like, oh, you can't. She told him like you're not allowed to talk about like why you like Angeline. You're not allowed to talk about Angeline. And then Trey like was like, wait, why can't I? And it's because he had that like the salt tattoo that breaks the Earth compulsion tattoo. Yeah, okay. So it was like Earth magic versus like vampire magic, and then Earth like human magic wins.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Exactly.
So weird.
Break it down for us. I really appreciate it because I was a little bit confused. I just went along with it because I trust Sydney.
Yeah.
Really, Adrian, I'm like, I'm just gonna go along because I trust you, but like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I feel like there weren't that many funny lines in this book, like in Golden Lily. But I remember one funny line was like when Trey sees that Wolf is gonna be tattooing him, he's like, he's tattooing me. He has an eye patch. Do the word depth perception mean something to you?
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I think that's like something I've noticed. Again, the Golden Lily is truly that book for me because it's just so funny. Yeah, that everything pales in comparison, which is so bad. But
I think Golden Lily is still my favorite out of all of the 6.
Yeah, me too. I wish I give it 5 stars. I really saved that 5 stars for something, but I'm like, it's the second book. Is it? You know, as of right now, I don't know. Like we'll see what's gonna happen for the next 2 books. So we can. Real quick, this is just like a brief mention. You know how when you have a credit card here, the limit is $900, and then if you get good credit, you can increase that limit. Knowing Adrian spent $800 on vinyls, and you know how he's like, shit, I'm broke. I was like, you dumb bitch. I thought I have horrible spending habits. But this is just another thing because I collect vinyls as well. So a part of me is like, where did you go to get vinyls and also like a record player, basically get a whole setup and shit? Where did you go to spend $800 worth of shit? Because like it's expensive, but it should not cost $800. That was like my whole that was like shocking to me because I'm like $800.
Yeah, that's also like part of mania. Like one symptom about mania is like, you know, expensive purchasing, shopping sprees, and I think that was kind of like speaking to that.
Yeah, and that's also like why he ended up buying the car, like the yellow car, so spontaneously. And then I don't know if you guys remember in like the second book, like Frostbite, he bought Rose like a bunch of perfume.
Yeah,
like a lot of expensive perfume. That's also part of it too.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think now I really appreciate us, like the doctor, like what you call it, like
breaking it down and all the symptoms. Yeah.
all that stuff. Like when he's super low, he's low, but then when he's high, he does have a really bad spending habit. I like that because like that's interesting because now like we're putting this into perspective. But is this something I've always noticed about Adrian? Like he does spend so much money because he's so rich. So like and then I guess like after he lose a certain amount of money, he starts worrying about the next paycheck and all that stuff. Okay.
I also really like. Oh, LOL. Sure, I wish. Oh, I wish. But I think another part I really like was when he goes back to court and I think he sees Rose and they're like it still bothers me how Rose and like a lot of people still see Adrian as like this flighty, like alcoholic, like a playboy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I've been sober for like this many weeks, or like I haven't had a cigarette in this many weeks. And they're like so shocked. But I'm like, yeah, Adrian, like show them what's up. Like you're doing so well.
Yeah, and then like we haven't talked about the trip to the court. So like I guess like Nina and Olive, you know, my ear, you see that? I was gonna say Nina and Olive, like it's interesting seeing them because like Nina's I think a spirit user and Olive's like the damper sister, and like that was interesting. And then like the trip to the court. Yo, I was like, this is literally what an opportunity for only Adrian and Sydney and also Neil to go to the court where they can just get away from Palm Spring. I was like, this is too good to be true. And then like the dabbling thing happened anyway, but like they have sex. Good for them. I don't know what to say because in a way it's a big deal. Like this is like a part of their relationship, and it happened for like the last half of this book. I mean, I'm glad, but at the same time, you got careless a little bit.
I would also say though, I would say it was also much better set up than when Rose and Dimitri had sex in Shadow Kiss.
Yeah.
So I was like rooting for them in this book.
Yeah, the trip to the court thing. I guess we can talk about Neil. I know I like him. I mean, it's not like my favorite character ever, but like he's not horrible, you know. He's as of right now, he's I guess infatuated with Olive, and also he has that Shigoi vaccine, and he has survived. That's all I know about him.
That he's British.
He's British. London Bridge.
Yeah, I love every time like Adrian refers to Neil as something, and it's like
he's like, oh, Buckingham Palace. Oh, London Bridge.
It's so funny. Let me see. I guess like the next thing we can talk about is Sydney's birthday. Is actually one of my favorite scenes.
Me too. Yeah,
so love it. Like, oh fuck, I don't want to cry. The good thing is that they're like. The bad thing is that she canceled on Zoe, but anyway. But like she gets to spend the day with Adrian a little bit, and they just like have dinner and have food. And I love the fact that Jill reminds him that when it comes to Sydney, she doesn't need expensive gifts. She just needs some quality. Like if you spend quality time with her, that's all that matters. And I think that's so sweet and touching. The bad thing is that they just had to have sex in a car because, of course, it leads to like them losing the love phone and then like her getting caught, all that stuff. And the part of me is like, you couldn't have sex in a bed. His bed is right there. What? I think it's
cars are what turns Sydney on.
It's so funny how Adrian knows her so well that he suggests to them having sex in his car, and she's like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "You guys are weird." I'm glad, but what? This is so funny.
When I was reading this, like her birthday, I was just like, man, I want a cupcake. I want a peppermint chocolate cupcake. That sounds so good.
Like that whole thing with Angela being like, oh, you had to wait for them. You had to wait for it to like cool down to frost it or that stuff. That was so funny. I don't know anything about baking, but I find it kind of funny, like that kind of sense of humor. And I will say, I didn't even realize that little detail would come back at the end because Zoe was the one who noticed that. Obviously, she found the love phone in the car, which again is Sydney's fault because they got careless. They got so careless. So like that, and then also that thing with the cupcake because like Sydney was the one who lied, being like, "Yeah, I got this from the shop." But then Angeline talks about like how Adrian made that cupcake. It's the little things that I'm just like, God damn, she is too good. She is too good, which sucks. But I don't want to talk. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I'm trying the ending.
Yeah, we're getting to the ending, but also just like Neil and Eddie learning that she has like magic powers.
Yeah, I forgot that she did the fire thing when they were freezing to death. Like she was like, you know what, F it, let's just do it real quick. And Neil was like, what the hell? So I
It's
completely
so badass. I love it.
I love the fact that she's getting better with magic.
Mm-hmm. I also just love the scene of like Sydney just being able to like trust Eddie and being able to just like show him her ability. Like that like whole paragraph, like, you know, like Sydney going from, you know, being an alchemist where she doesn't trust Dampiers, Marois, whatever, to like being able to like fully trust Eddie with this, you know, ability of hers.
Yeah.
Because it's Eddie, but also yes, growth.
Let me see. I love when they're both doing my name. Oh yeah, I love that too. Like just them talking about how they want to live together because it's so nice to like going to sleep and then waking up and all that stuff. It's just like something so normal, but like they really want it because you know they just have to sneak around so much that they just really want some semblance of normalcy. And I was also gonna, oh my god, I was gonna talk about Eddie a little bit, but I forgot what I was gonna talk about. Shit. Okay,
so Eddie, like, I think I know what you might be thinking, but I could just be imagining it. But like the idea of Eddie losing someone important to him again.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Like in the way that he like lost Mason, and now he's probably feeling like a bunch of regret because he like lost Sydney, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, because I think at the end, yeah, because Adrian at the end he talks about how like Eddie is like a really good Dampier, but right now there's something like there's like a quote basically saying that he's probably feeling a huge sense of failure because there are so much failures at his feet with Mason and then now with Sydney and all that stuff. And I love real quick, I love the ending. No, wait, no, I don't. Let me rephrase that. I love the part where we have like let me see, Joe, Eddie, Angeline a little bit. I think she's involved, you know. Trey, Marcus, Adrian, even Jackie. These people who love and care so much for Sydney that they're going out of their way to find her.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
I love that.
Because like for the past few books, you really see how much of an impact that Sydney has made on their lives. And you see that in like at the end because they want to find her. I think that's really great because it's like at least like they care about her. And also real quick, I'm kind of thankful that Eddie was with Sydney when they went to that thing when they got ambushed. Why can't I say it? Because if she went by herself, it would be so bad.
No one would have known. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch that little part where the Strigoi was like he like recognized that she was a witch?
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, world building.
So I was like, oh, so I'm guessing this is like something that like a lot of people know, but not everyone know because like we didn't know it until like this book series. Let me see when I was like, yeah, the ending. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, like I'm glad Eddie was there. Oh, I'm so glad he was there. I forgot that he was gonna be with her when she got ambushed. Why can't I say it?
Yeah, but also like poor Eddie thinking that like the spell that Sydney gave him was going to like do something, and him just like holding Hopper and like shouting that spell.
Oh,
wait. Yeah.
Dude, okay. I like strongly, my angsty like teenage love strongly debated getting a tattoo or like something of that phrase, like Cetrum Permanibit.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I loved it.
Dude, I didn't even know it translates to like the center will hold, which is a thing between.
I love that. Yeah.
I got emo when she realized it on page 412. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, and Adrian realizing that it was a message for him.
Yeah.
I'm having feels right now.
I'm getting really upset now because it was like I love him so much. And then this happened. And also at the end he relapsed. Like he's like there's hints that he's gonna start drinking again.
Yeah.
So, like, oh man, this sucks. Cause like there is so much improvement for him throughout his entire book, and then this one thing is going to send him back. Like it's like what's that song? 1 step forward, 3 steps
back. Yeah. And then him just also like trying so hard to like use spirit to help her, and then like that realization when he can see that guy's aura again. but like he doesn't. He tries to like find her, but he can't.
Yeah.
It's because she's knocked out.
I'm so sad. I am so sad. And then at the end, let me see. And then yeah, she's going to re-education, and I'm guessing they're just drugging her. Like that whole thing being like your soul is tainted. On that. Oh my god, this book is so sad. That's something that like I'm concluding is that I didn't realize how sad this can be.
Yeah.
With certain things here and there. Yeah.
Wait, what was the? You know, Bruno said like, and also how Sydney twists Abe's words to save Eddie by doing something horrible. Wait, what were Abe's words? I forgot.
Wait, right here.
Mhm.
Abe was talking. I wonder if I can find it, but he talked about how how he has a reputation for being kind of shady.
Oh
And
yeah.
turns out he was right here, page 277. So he says, you think I'm so manipulative and scheming, Miss Sage? It's all for them. For my loved one first, my people second. Let me say, don't think for an instance I wouldn't sacrifice myself if it could oh my god, if it could save someone I love. And don't think for an instance I wouldn't do terrible unspeakable things if it could save someone I love. So like that came back to her when she was like running away with Eddie. Because the alchemist literally said, don't shoot her, shoot him. Like, doesn't matter. I was like, what the fuck? He's a dampier. Like I don't know if the alchemist killed Eddie, I think the Moroi court would be fucking pissed.
But it's like they can't do anything. He's just a dampier.
But it's weird how they're so flippant about it. Be like, don't make sure like you don't shoot her, but you shoot him. It doesn't matter if he died or not. So I think she thought of that quote, and that's when she decided to sacrifice herself, send him away, and then she come back. I'm too upset. I'm too upset by this. But at the same time, like I feel bad for Sydney, but at the same time, it does suck because she got so careless. I couldn't believe she spent the night with Adrian. I was like, Zoe's probably waiting for you. And I also wish Zoe would confront Sydney with the phone instead of just going to the dad. I wonder if Zoe knows that she's like Sydney is going to be sent to re-education. That's the thing.
I think probably, but also like we always hear the word re-education, but we don't really know what it entails. Like we get little snippets, especially when we saw like Keith, that FaceTime with Keith.
Yeah.
But I guess like Zoe probably just didn't realize what Sydney is going to go through.
What do you guys, for people like who have not read the book or haven't read it in a while, like what do you guys imagine re-education to be?
A lot of
like
drugging, probably. A lot of that what you call the shot into their tattoo to make it stronger.
Tattooing,
yeah, because I have a feeling, I think there's like a theory going on that like Keith is like, you see Keith like how he is in this book is because they probably like did something mentally to him to the point where like in a way they kind of broke him. Like he's so like Sydney talk about how his personality is completely gone because he's just so stoic and so serious all the time. But like even if you look him deep in the eye, you can't even detect a hint of personality, like his personality at all. I'm scared. Like the word re-education, oh my god, I was like,
it's scary. Yeah.
You see, just heavy torture and brainwashing. Yeah.
We'll put out trigger warnings for the next book.
Yeah, I use this. I would search up Silver Shadows trigger warnings, and then I just see what people have said, and I have a feeling it's gonna be like brainwashing, torture, like compulsion. I don't even know. Like you just never know what's gonna happen with the next book. I am scared. I am scared. Actually, Tiffany, I want to ask because I'm pretty sure you read the book each time it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like what was your reaction with the first time you read this book? Like, like the ending, was it shocking? And then also like you reading Silver Shadows. Would Silver Shadows just be spoiler free, I guess? But like I guess like your anticipation for the next book and that whole thing.
I think I was like probably in the same place as like everyone else right now, just like, oh my god, like what is happening? I have to wait so long to figure out what the next book is. And just so much frustration about like Zoe and just wanting to see Adrian and Sydney just be happy because like they're so healthy and wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can wrap this up. Everyone, please let us know your favorite scene, and then also a scene that you forget. So I'm guessing like the second question is mostly towards us because this is our like second or third time or fifth time reading this book. So like, what's everyone's favorite scene? Sandy, you can go.
Yeah, you already mentioned it, but my favorite scene is Sydney's birthday. I just really love seeing Sydney and Adrian spend time together.
That was really
And a scene that I like completely forgot about is just like everything surrounding the Strigoi vaccine, like
yeah.
having them tested on Neil, and then like Neil, Eddie, and Sydney going out to like find a Strigoi and like test it for real. Like I completely forgot all about that, but it was really interesting to read about.
Yeah. Tiffany.
My favorite scenes would probably be when they're at court and also when they're leaving court, just like them in the snow and then like
Yeah.
her using fire, just like showing how much she's grown. And then I think the scene I forget about is just like Adrian and his college friends. Like I just completely
Oh, yeah.
forgot like that they existed and that he has a life like in college. Like that girl whose name starts with the R, and then like her girlfriend and how they help him. And I remember we didn't talk about this, but like there's that one scene where she like drops marble, I think, on her hand and it like crushes her hand, and then Adrian like saves her with spirit. Like I forgot about those scenes for sure.
Yeah. Favorite scene, yeah, it's like the birthday, Sydney's birthday. And then also I like the scene where they're just like chilling at the bed and breakfast because it's nice to see them just having some privacy. And then the scene forget, there's so much more things that I forget in this book, surprisingly. But like the Strigoi thing, and then what you call it? Sydney's breakdown over Adrian. I forgot about that because I was literally shocked as I was rereading it. Like I was like, this is sad. I thought this book would be not too sad, you know? And like I knew the ending was like gonna be so sad, but I didn't realize that throughout this book we do get like a few scenes that are very serious, obviously, but then also like it made me cry. It made me cry so much. I hate myself.
Mhm.
I'm a Pisces, if anyone is curious. That's why anything can make me cry so easily. But those are the things that I forget. So is that it? Oh my god. We made it. Oh my god. This is after we just
So much.
yeah. Everything.
And we see Clarence in this book again, who I completely forgot about.
Wait, who?
Clarence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, I just said who? Clarence. Oh my god. Okay. So that is basically it for our discussion for the Fiery Heart. It's been a lot. Really. Oh my god. The next book is Silver Shadows. The next book is the 5th book. Isn't it crazy? We have 2 more books left. But yeah, very excited for the 5th book, and of course that's gonna be the book it's gonna be the book that we're reading this month in November. So we will announce the time and date for the next live show. So look out for that on Twitter. And you guys have anything to say? No? Okay, that's basically it. I hope everyone has a good day or night. Thank you so much for, joining us and discussing this book with us. The sun is so bright. Yeah, just thank you so much for, spending your Sunday. Oh my God, my mind. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us. Okay, I hope everyone have a great day or night. Goodbye.
Bye.